Hello, Steve Mills here, and welcome to the Results Podcast. It's great to have you back, sharing with you some more tried and tested strategies to help you grow your business. Now, one of them is something I call proof of concept. This is probably one of the most important podcasts that you could ever listen to and could make a massive difference to your business. When considering any form of marketing, the most important thing for you to think about is your ROI, or your return on investment. Let's leave the big brand stuff, the branding, getting awareness and all that sort of thing to people like Coca-Cola and Nike and so on. Now, don't get me wrong. Brand awareness, getting known, is a really valuable part of marketing, and it's something that we should, without any shadow of a doubt, be putting time and effort into. However, for the point of this particular video, I want to talk to you specifically about brand awareness, or as I like to call it, getting proof of concept. Getting proof of concept is what this video is about. Now, let me clarify what I mean. I'm going to give you an example, and then I'm going to talk to you about other examples of how that still fits into them, if that's okay. So, let's say that you decide to do Facebook paid advertising, and you kick off your campaign and you invest probably a small amount of money. Let's say £10 a day. I think £8 a day is the least you can invest, but just to make finances easy, let's say £10 a day. So you invest £10 a day, and having done that, let's say in the first couple of weeks, you don't do great because you're not going to nail it the first couple of weeks. You're not going to do brilliant, but you get in 2 weeks you've invested £140. And you've won back about £500 worth of new business. So you think to yourself, that's not bad. I've given Facebook 140 and it's given me back 500. Let's say there's, 150 of that is costs to you in terms of delivery of the service. That still means you're in credit and you're doing great. Well, are you? Are you doing great, or are you doing okay? The idea behind proof of concept is knowing that figure, knowing that you've invested 140 and you've got 500 back. That's where it starts. But the whole idea behind it is, well, how high is high? How could you raise your game? What could you do to improve it in order to really get a better proof of concept to a level where you feel confident in just scaling up your business? So you could do things like change the headline, change the words, change the use of video, change the pictures, change the landing page if we're talking like advertising with Facebook. So there are a whole range of things that you could do. You could change the targeting, who's going to get to see your advert. So there's a mass of things, probably about 10 different things that you could change in order to improve the performance. Now, what you don't want to do is to think, right, okay, Steve said change 10 things, so I'm going to change everything and see if I can improve it. No, that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to change one element at a time. So you might say, right, okay, well, we spent £140, so we're getting quite a few clicks. Let's assume it's costing, I use 25p per click. It may be a bit more than that, but you're paying 25p per click, £140, so that's 560 clicks, I think, if I've got my maths right. 560 clicks. And that's equaling £500. So what you want to do perhaps with that is to focus on when they've clicked, how you could get more inquiries. Let's say your average unit of sale is £100. So you've got 5 sales of £100 equals £500. But that means 5,555 clicked and didn't buy. So we want to try and work on that. So we might work on the landing page, maybe adding a video to it or improving the video. We might add a picture to make that look better. We might add some testimonials from people saying how great your service or product was. We might improve the headlines or the subheads or the words on the page, the call to action. You get me? So they're all things that you could test one element at a time. This is important. You don't want to change everything in order to improve performance. But let's say you change things for the next 2 weeks, and then you change something else the next few weeks. And by now, instead of getting for every £140 you spend, you've now got your ROI up to 600, 700, perhaps even 800. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Are you with me? Okay, so once you've got it to a certain level, let's say, I love the 5-to-1 return on investment. So if I give Facebook £1, then I want it to give me somewhere between £5 and £10 back. So at the low end, it's 5 back. So if I invest 500, if I invest 1,000, let's say, I'd hope to get £5,000 back. That would be my minimum standard that I'd want to try to achieve. That's what we try to achieve with our clients when we're doing this work for them. So you know, it really depends on your profit within the product, but you know that's potentially a good model. So what happens then? Well, my advice to you, if I was just working with you, I'd say scale. Spend more. You know, don't spend £10 a day, spend 20 a day, then 40 a day, then 60 a day, and then 100 a day, and so on. And just don't go from 10 to think, right, this is brilliant, I'm going to spend £1,000 a day, because it may or may not be. Yeah, you know, sometimes things work, but they don't always work. So let's scale slowly, steadily, getting more, getting more, getting more. We did this recently with a client of ours, started him off at £10 a day. Inside 3 months, is now spending £8,000 a month. That's his Facebook budget. He's making £140,000 a month. So every time he gives them £8,000, they give him 140 back. He said to me the other day, what do you think I should do? I said, well, if I was you, I'd spend 16. Why wouldn't you do that? I can't think of a reason. Can you? Assuming that it doubles, you know, instead of it being 140,000, you spend 8,000 and you double that to 16. Therefore, the 140,000 should double to 280,000. Now, it may or may not quite work out, you know, for whatever reason. Wouldn't it be terrible if he only got 250,000? Of course not. You know, he'd still be very happy, no doubt. So that's an example with Facebook. Obviously, with something like, I don't know, Google Analytics, you can measure that, and with Google AdWords, with pay-per-click advertising, you can do it on there. But what about something like, I don't know, networking or referrals? You know, you're not actually paying anything. So what you could think about with referrals is, right, well, where are we now? How many referrals are we getting? Let's develop a referral script so we can start measuring what's working and what's not. And then we can start asking people to refer us or recommend us. And then we know that for every 10 people that we ask, we're getting 3 referrals. Then all we've got to do, assuming that's, well, it's not even profitability, is it? Because, you know, referrals cost you nothing unless you're offering some sort of incentive for it. But if that's what you're doing, then all you need to do, really, if you think about it, is just scale it up. Just do more of it. Ask more for more referrals. Because if you ask for 100 referrals over a period of time and you get a 30% conversion rate, If you ask for 200 referrals, instead of getting 30, you get 60. So you just keep on asking for referrals from customers, prospects, people, networking, friends, family, and so on and so forth, dependent obviously on what industry you're in. And the same thing applies to anything in marketing, although particularly where you're investing money in marketing. It's really important to make sure that you get proof of concept. Don't listen to marketing people like me who tell you, spend a load of money on this and that'll get you all this extra money and leads and sales. We don't know. That's the truth. I've been doing this over a quarter of a century, and I've been listening to the world's leading marketing experts where I get all this knowledge from, and they'll tell you they've got no clue. All we know is what we think. Our best guess is that if you invest in Facebook advertising, you'll get a positive return on investment. But by testing different elements of it, you can improve that performance until you've got what we call proof of concept. Once you've got that, then you can leverage, then you can invest the big bucks, because you know that for every pound you put in, you get £7.50 back. How often would you like to do that? Well, for me, I'd do it all day, every day, spend as much as I can. I'd be very happy to invest £1 million a day in something that made me £7.5 million a day. Wouldn't you? That's how valuable this is. It really does. Once you know and understand the idea behind it, and I think you probably do now, all you've got to do is to run it. And good luck with that. And obviously, have a conversation with me if you'd like to. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening. Really, really powerful. Don't underestimate this. Make sure that you use it to grow your business. Thanks for listening.
You got to look at deals every day.
So that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. You probably gather that was a recording actually of a video that I produced, which sort of leads me to another opportunity for you. I picked up on the idea literally yesterday. Why it didn't occur to me any time in the last quarter of a century. But when I'm doing something like producing a video, I can just record it onto a podcast. Or when I'm doing a podcast, I could do a podcast and a video at the same time. So I could literally, set my video recorder going, set my podcast going, and off I go. What I tend to do is, in the past, I've certainly done them both at the same time. What a stupid waste of time. So there's something for you to think about. And by the way, if you've not got a podcast, let me just give you some of the stats around it that I'm achieving now. I want to be clear. My podcast it's probably about a year old. Excuse me. It's probably about a year old, and it's developed. It's taken quite a bit of hard work, but it's got up to a certain level, and in that time, we've grown and grown and grown, and put reasonable amount of effort in. Not a lot of money, just effort in terms of producing podcasts, and we've now got it on iTunes. It's on Amazon Music. It actually goes out on about 40 different radio stations. This is all automatically, by the way. It's linked to YouTube, so it's actually on YouTube. It goes out live on YouTube as soon as I'm recording this, so that's pretty cool. And we're getting around about 7,000 views per episode. So, it's getting me out there. It's helping me to overcome the word obscurity. It's getting me known, and that's got to be a good thing. So if you're not doing a podcast, then you ought to. The platform that we use is called Spreaker. Like speaker, but with an R in it, Spreaker.com. I think it costs something like about, from off the top of my head, I can't remember whether it's 120 dollars a year or £120, but it's definitely somewhere around there. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to speaking to you again on the next podcast. Thank you.